You guys are going to be doing from here on out that you're going to be learning new treatments. No more basic facial cleanse. It's all going to be clinical cleanse. So get used to it.
And you always have to use gloves.
Yes.
Because it's clinical, correct?
Yes.
You
Yep.
said with
Always
the laser
gloves.
or just
Everything we're learning.
Okay.
So, if you're doing E-Matrix on the full face, you'll want to do clinical cleanse. If you're doing this, the IPL, and then any of the chemical peels, microneedling, anything like that. Okay? It's always going to be done with rough gauze. Rough gauze, it's going to help get your product off. It's going to help exfoliate the skin. I'm going to use sponges real fast though, just to get her numbing cream off.
Does your face feel
Pretty numb?
Mm-hmm.
Definitely my cheeks and
Yeah.
like my forehead, maybe not as much, but everything else is really.
It's harder to tell with your forehead if it's numb or not.
There's
Yeah.
not as many nerves.
Yeah.
It's like all bone.
It's
My
not
face
as
was
fleshy.
Very numb yesterday.
Yeah.
Okay. Anytime for any of your treatments that you're not having your client dress down into a robe, white towel, chemical peels, it doesn't matter if it's a white or black towel, just cover their clothing in case you flip product onto their clothes. You don't want them to have to leave with anything on their clothing. So how I do the clinical cleanse, how I wrap my fingers, this is gonna be an assignment for you guys when you're figuring out the clinical cleanse before you do a cert with your clinical cleanse. I'm gonna have you guys go and ask at least 3 other instructors how they wrap their fingers for the clinical cleanse and practice it because no one does it the same, okay? What I like to do, and I'll show you guys this probably multiple times, I'm gonna do the number 3 and I'm gonna put the gauze right there in a diamond shape on my fingers. I'm gonna hold it with my thumb and my pinky, and then on the back side, I'm gonna lift my middle finger, pinch in the sides, and fold the top down. Okay? That way you have a nice grip, it's not going anywhere, and you can really get in there and scrub their face. Okay? The second hand is always harder. You already have this one wrapped, so you kind of just have to go with it. It's gonna take practice, it's gonna be weird, but you'll get there.
Is that distilled water in there?
It's just regular water. It doesn't really matter for your cleanse. So I'll get them wet, tap them together, scoop up my cleanser, and then I like to work it together in my gauze, get it sudsed up a little bit, and then I go in on my client's skin. So I'm gonna do some circles, go down the nose, on the cheeks.
What cleanser is that?
This is the Obagi Gentle Cleanser.
For the clinical cleanse, is it just those specific products like the Obagi? Okay, just
Nope,
anyone.
any cleansers you want. You
But
want to
it's
make
just
sure
that.
that you at least have a foaming cleanser. If you get 2 creamy cleansers, your clinical cleanse really isn't gonna help
Okay,
that
so
much.
like 1 foam, 1 cream.
Yeah, I usually do 2 foam ones. Most of the time when I do my treatments, both of my cleansers are the Elastin cleanser.
Okay.
It doesn't really matter. So this one is gonna be my rinse. I just got them wet. We're just gonna go in, we're gonna rinse off our cleanse. A clinical cleanse is always 2 cleanses.
And every fits, they are able to receive the service.
This one, yes. Clear and Brilliant, you can do on all fits. Okay, so far that's 1 cleanse. We've used 4 rough gauze. So this is starting the 2nd cleanse.
So you're gonna need a lot of gauze.
Yep,
Eight
like
pieces.
8. So your protocol for Clear and Brilliant should say 9 rough gauze. Should, off the top of my head. It would be 8 for the clinical cleanse and then a 9th for the acetone to degrease the face before we start the treatment. We want to make sure we're using pretty good pressure because we want to get any makeup residue, anything off the face, especially if you're doing a treatment where you're not numbing and we didn't go in before and do a cream on and then take it off with sponges. If they have makeup or like a tinted sunscreen, any moisturizers, we want to make sure we're getting that off pretty good. With chemical peels, the more you put pressure and really cleanse and rub the face with the rough gauze, the more intense your peel will be. So the more you manipulate the skin, more of a treatment they're gonna get.
The only thing I'm obsessing over is doing that correctly right now.
Same. Every time she puts it on, I'm like,
no, putting it on.
It's weird and it takes a while to get the hang of.
I mean, you just,
I remember being a student and I was like, I really don't know how to do this.
everybody's moved on. I'm like,
on camera. I'm gonna put it in slow motion.
Just on the side.
just
Right?
slowly.
It's gonna fall.
Okay. So after that one, sometimes your foam, I still have a little bit of cleanser. It kind of sudsed up a little bit. The Obagi foaming gel kind of tends to be a little bit more sudsy that way. That's fine. We're gonna go in with acetone and degrease her face anyway, and it'll take off any of the soap
The
residue.
foams.
What if their skin is very sensitive?
Alcohol. You can replace the acetone with alcohol if they need it. So this is acetone.
Deep breath.
Warn your clients before you do acetone, and
Yeah.
they'll be like, are you putting nail polish remover on my face?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, acetone is in nail polish remover. It does not mean that this is nail polish remover. Acetone is one of the ingredients. That's what gives it its smell, and this is medical grade acetone. Okay, we are not putting nail polish remover on your client's face. Okay, I'm going in with acetone. I will let you know when we get around your nose.
So would you ask them, like, are they allergic to acetone or something, or would you ask
You
them
can.
their preference, alcohol or acetone?
You can, but typically it's gonna be acetone unless they have some kind of sensitivity.
Okay.
Yeah. You don't have to do the fan, it's just a little bit easier for them to breathe. Either that, or while I'm doing it, I'll kind of be waving with the other hand. Either one. And I'm only using one gauze for my acetone. Okay, I'm gonna do your chin. Okay, take a deep breath for me. I'm gonna go right down your nose. Okay, slowly breathe out. Make sure you tell your client to breathe.
Pass out.
Right. Are you there?
Hello?
Okay, and then I'm gonna put goggles on my client. Okay, good night.